I remember there's a quite well-known commercial slogan, probably more than 10 years ago in the States. It's called, "Everything you can do, we can do better." So for China, for the past 20 years, it's probably everything you can do, we can copy it. Right? And now this is not acceptable to China anymore. Now the whole society, the government wants to change it. So this is the idea behind promoting innovation in all different policy angles. Now, to build the economy as an innovative economy, there are many things to do. For example, we want to start with increase the inputs, so further increase investment in education R&D, reform that improve efficiency of those investments, and build a healthy, active ecosystem of innovation. And lastly, I want to focus on the last point for the next few minutes. Reconstruct the cultural foundation of innovative economy for China. What do I mean by that? Let me start with some academic concepts. It's called power distance. It's invented by this social psychologist when he did a famous study of IBM employees across different countries. And then one of the things that comes out of this study, which becomes very influential, is called the power distance index. And this is a measure of strength of a social hierarchy. Right? Every society, every organization has a hierarchy, but what are people's attitudes towards social hierarchy? This is what the power distance index tries to measure. Basically, it measures the extent to which the less powerful members of our organization institutions, like the family, accept and they expect that power is distributed unequally. So basically, a higher power distance means that people put too much attention on the hierarchy, and then the communication is less effective. Now, why do I point out this concept? If we compare cross-country innovation capacity, and in this table, in this graph, on the horizontal axis, I listed global innovation index ranking. So from number 1 all the way to number 100. On the vertical axis is the power distance index by different countries from 10 to 100. So higher, so we can see a very positive correlation. So what does this mean? Countries with a higher power distance, meaning that the national culture pays more attention to hierarchy, will be ranked higher, which means they are less innovative. So this graph clearly shows that national innovation capacity is inversely related to power distance. Now, this is the same relationship holds for the company level. Numerous management studies show that in a country, the corporate culture, if the corporate culture has very high power distance, those companies, these corporations, tends to be less innovative. And then we have all sorts of famous management cases. For example, Marvin Bower, who's the founder of McKinsey, basically he said his lifetime mission is to fight hierarchies within firms. And the Jack Welch's secret of transforming GE is transforming GE from a bureaucratic organization into a boundaryless, this is a term he invented, boundaryless organization. So all this point to that organizations like business firms, if they want to be very innovative, their corporate culture should have a lower power distance. That means that the social hierarchy should be less important. Now, why is that? The reason is that innovation is really not some heroic acts by a genius. It's like Apple is not, all the great products are not invented by Steve Jobs. Innovation comes from idea exchanges. And then idea exchanges rely on people having equal status. So the idea for the idea exchange to promote innovation, all these great companies try everything to maximize chances that people can exchange ideas. So from the space design to the Yahoo CEO's policy to ban work at home policy. And this created lots of quite a bit controversy in the high-tech industry. And because when she went there as a working mom, she one of her initiatives is to ban this policy and ask people to come back to work to the company. And the whole purpose is that in order, according to her rationale, in order to reinvent the innovation capacity of Yahoo, people have to come to our office and have face-to-face interactions. And another great innovative company, very traditional manufacturing firm, 3M, according to 3M, their innovation secret is talk, talk, talk. So for companies, for countries, if they want to improve their innovation capacity, one of the things is to increase the chance for people to exchange ideas. Now, and then there's cultural elements in this. When people communicate with each other, whether they're from different, no matter what their positions are in the social hierarchy, now the communication will be effective only if people are viewed equal by each other, no matter what their social status are. So, for example, in Apple, we all know that Steve Jobs was a dictator, but in his own group, R&D group, annually people vote annual award of challenging Steve Jobs, and he approved that. Right, so this is a way of, the people have the courage to challenge their bosses, even though their boss is a genius dictator. And in this startup nation by Israel, right, the whole argument is that Israel is the the least hierarchical society, no matter from the army to the society, right? And then so if you look at the cross-country power distance index, Israel is among all the countries the lowest. Now, as academic, as scholars, why the U.S. academic dominates the world? I think it's the term we use called agree to disagree, where in any seminar, no matter this is a Nobel Prize winner, this is a young faculty member or graduate students, people challenge each other on equal basis. Now, back to China. Right? I think there's a barrier to innovation in Chinese culture when we want to think about how to build an innovative economy. I have these two pictures. On the left is the time when the real time when they killed bin Laden in the White House, right? It's hard to find where your president is, right? And the other picture is taken from an ordinary meeting in a Chinese county. This is considered a pretty low rank government. You see, dozens of officials are seated on the stage according to their rank, and this is very typical. And on the left is historical moments in the U.S. after 9/11. Imagine this in any Asian society, right? The number one guy will sit in the middle, and everyone else will be lined up on the two sides. Not like this. So this shows that what I meant by the power distance and then the Chinese culture, we probably put too much emphasis on social hierarchy. And the other elements on this, cultural factor, the barrier to innovation in the Chinese culture, I think we're too strong, we emphasize too much on social connections, and then we're weak on idea exchanges. I mean, everyone been to China, you go to the dinners, parties, and the wining and dining, and you know what I mean, right? We always have all this, the drinking culture without, creating opportunities for people really talk about their ideas. So what do I get from here? I think in terms of cultural foundation for innovative economy, for China, I think this is a challenge because in the traditional culture, we're influenced by Confucianism. It's very strong Confucianism influence for more than 2,000 years, for almost 2,000 years. And this has great values to the society. And then Jack mentioned a few things that, the Chinese culture, the connection with Israel culture, Jewish culture, responsibilities, family values, country loyalties, and such and such. But then if we have to think about how to build an innovative economy, I think too much emphasis on social hierarchy is a serious barrier. So for China to build an innovative economy, I think we need a cultural reconstruction. And this is going to be long and this is going to be challenging. But I hope that realizing this idea and then think about how to achieve this will help us to better achieve the goal to build an innovative economy in China. Thank you very much.